What's up? It's your boy Kay, and I'm back with Isaac. Say hi to the people, Isaac.
Hello to the people.
We are back with fan selected movie review number 5 over the 2010 film Secretariat, starring Diane Lane as Penny Shinnery and John Malkovich as Lucien Lauren.
Penny agrees to take over the family thoroughbred farm, fostering a colt called Secretariat to become what many still consider the fastest racehorse in history. Now, I'm going to go ahead and rate this movie. And I was surprised, to be honest with you. That was a really good movie. So I'm at a 9 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 9 out of 10. I also was surprised at how good it was. I think I would go 9 out of 10 as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So here we'll start with what we liked about the movie. I definitely liked, obviously, the underdog aspect behind the horse itself. I think at every turn in the movie, there was a good feeling that this horse isn't going to be able to get it done. I think that they do a great job of convincing you for one reason or the other that you have to root for these other horses. You got to put your stock on these other horses. And then Secretariat pulls through each time. So I really love that aspect. The other aspect that I really loved of this movie that I think is kind of different from what you would expect from like a racehorse movie. Because, I mean, the underdog aspect is something you always see in these type of movies.
Yeah.
But the one aspect I really did not expect and I really did thoroughly enjoy was the impact of following your dreams and like never giving up, and how the main character, Penny, how that impacted her family around her and the people around her.
Good and bad.
Yeah, because she inherited a farm, that was a failing farm. Everyone's telling her to sell the horse and do this, do that. Basically sell out on your dreams. Go back to being a housewife. And this was like, early 70s, I believe it was. Yep. So like a woman taking charge and following her dreams was something that was kind of people made fun of things like that back in the day. Yeah. And so for her to impact not only her husband, not only the other workers on the farm and people around her, but also her children, I really felt was like a good lesson that adults need to learn. And not just adults, anybody who has people looking at them as a role model of any sort.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I think my favorite part of the whole movie, which sounds stupid because it's like, oh, of course, but it's the racing part where, like, to be completely honest with you, I'm not a horse racing fan. So, like, if I got free tickets to go to the Kentucky Derby, I probably wouldn't go. Like, I'm just not that interested. But this, like, it kept you on the edge of your seat. Even though you maybe had a good idea that he was going to win, but you're still like, oh my gosh. And then he'd start last like every single time except for the last race, and so he had to work his way up. So you're almost like cheering for him and rooting for him in the movie. They did a really, really good job of kind of piecing that together and showing just kind of how he had to work himself up to continue to race. And then you got to see, which, I think a lot of people do this with their animals, but you got to see this connection that Penny made with Secretariat, to where, like, she was, like, eye and eye with him, and she felt like she could read, like, what was going on in his brain, and he felt like, you got the feeling that he could read what was going on in hers, and he wanted to win for her. As cheesy as that sounds, you get that feeling within the movie.
Absolutely. And kind of piggybacking off that, like, another aspect I really loved of the movie was just the personality of the horse itself. I mean,
kept posing.
Exactly, posing for pictures, and it can be a little buck wild, but ultimately it loves to run. And like you said, Penny making that connection and being able to read, like, just let him run, just let him do his thing. He'll do it in his own time. He knows something's up. He knows something, that you don't, because it's his body ultimately when it comes to racing. And, I love any movie that can give an animal good personality, good characteristics, because that's how animals really are. Yeah. And I feel like there's been certain movies that I watch that include animals, but they're viewed as animals. Right. This movie makes you feel like Secretariat is the character, like the main character of the movie.
And a part of the family. Like part of something that was just bigger than him. The other part I didn't, I maybe kind of had an idea. I didn't know how much money was involved in horse racing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a gentleman at one point that offered her $8 million for a horse. I mean, that wouldn't even cross my mind. I would be like, yeah, I mean, take it. But she knew there was something within him to go out and double it, triple it, quadruple how much money she can make just from him racing.
Yeah.
And I will say the very last race, watching him, I think they said it was 31 lengths that he ended up winning that race, which he was just not expected to win because he was a fast runner and it was a longer track. Was just, I mean, I watched him like, oh my God, like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And he survived.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that was the scare of most people.
It's not what I expected, you know.
Yeah.
Just like the main climax of any competitive type movie, you expect that last scene to be like them duking it out right there, neck and neck, and then, the main character pulls forward just a little bit. No, with this, it was like he flew around the track. Like, he left no doubt.
Yeah.
Left it back and forth. The other, I think it was Sham was the other racehorse he was going up against, where I love how the movie kind of created this beef between them. Like, he was eyeballing them before they let off the tracks.
Sure.
But I just absolutely love the last three races, how it was like, well, yeah, Secretariat got the record or whatever, but our horse had the second fastest time ever. And, like, it's kind of creating this competitive nature. Like, well, we're a distanced horse. Secretariat's not. That's why we're going to win this one. And I feel like in the end, if it would have been neck and neck like that, you would still make the statement like, okay, they won the three horses, but it was close. Maybe this was a fluke. Maybe this was... No, Secretariat left no doubt. Left him in the dust. And I love the little... like the precursor to that of the dude that was riding Secretariat that was like, I'm tired of eating dirt. Like, I'm not eating dirt this race, basically. Yep. So, yeah, beautiful movie. I love the time frame aspect of it as well. Early 70s. Her daughter's talking about, she's basically a hippie. She's going out to protest, trying to end the war left and right. And I love towards the end of the movie how the mom, whenever she was facing real hardship in that phone booth, she was like, well, listen, like, our politics change throughout time, but you going out there and fighting for something you believe in, I'll always be proud of you for that.
That's a good line.
And that's like a great lesson for people to learn. There's a lot of good lessons that you could take from a movie like this.
Yep. And the fact that you've kind of mentioned it before, but with Penny, if they didn't win those three races, they would have lost everything.
She would broke.
I mean, not just broke, but she would have been done for, because they said it was like $6 million was just the tax on the property, which they wouldn't even come close to being able to touch that. Yeah. And so, I mean, it goes back to what you said at the beginning, to where she had to truly believe that this thing was going to happen. And I'm pretty sure they said in the movie it hadn't happened in 25 years, and it was almost unfathomable. Yeah. They didn't think it could ever happen again, to where this horse could could win the Triple Crown. And he not only won, he won pretty convincingly at the end. Yeah. So great movie. The only thing there was only a couple pieces in it that I didn't like, and that's not a big deal because I don't want to take anything away from the movie, but there was a few acting parts where I was like, they probably could have refilmed that or could have done a little bit better. But all in all, I mean, it's a great story. I love true stories. I think that's always fun because you get to see the picture, and then you see at the very end that Penny was actually in the movie.
She had a cameo. We didn't even know,
which is really cool. I think that's awesome they did that.
Yeah, I would definitely say, the acting of the main two people, Diane Lane and John Malkovich, was very good. Yeah. Outside of that, it was kind of average acting. Nothing crazy good, nothing crazy bad necessarily either. So, great movie. Ultimately, I would highly consider for people to go watch this movie if you haven't seen it before.
For sure.
This is one that was not on my radar at all, and now it's up there. It's on the list of great movies to watch. Yep. Well, that's all we have for this video. If you enjoyed this content, please give us a like. Go ahead and comment maybe what you think of the movie, or comment a movie for us to review for our next fan-selected movie review. Go ahead and please share this video with anyone who might be interested in movies. And then finally, please give us a sub on YouTube. Every sub goes a long way, and we really appreciate it. That's all we have for this video. Have a great day.